Hello, wildlife enthusiasts. Today I invite you to join me on a hike through the gorges of the Dzungarian Alatau. For now, I see Siberian Ibex on the mountain slopes. A pair of males seems to be holding a small tournament of their own. The Ibex are quite far from our starting point, yet even through the shimmering mountain air, we can still watch them. This is a group of mature males. There are no females with young in sight, but they must be somewhere nearby. During winter, these animals usually stay on the southern slopes, where the snow is not as deep and they can warm themselves in the weak winter sun. Some of the ibex are resting, while others move in single file across to another slope to graze on the scarce alpine vegetation of this season. Back at our camp, everyone is busy, and the rutting season of the Roe Deer is at its peak. They are the main goal of our expedition, but without horses, it will be very difficult to reach the Maral grounds. One of the horses needs new shoes. While the men are working on the hooves, a curious red-billed chough inspects the contents of the horse manure nearby. Meanwhile, with a few simple tools, one hoof is almost ready. Well, only one more horseshoe left. And as always, while some are working, others are busy giving useful advice. Though the horse looks like it has had enough of all this fuss. The chough also seems quite displeased. Patience. The horse is finally shod, and since everything is done, there's nothing left here for the chough to investigate. Want to show me live on camera? Some of the horses are resting near the hitching post, while others are still grazing nearby. We need to gather them all in one place before the team heads into the gorges to search for the Maral. The Black Stallion, however, clearly expresses how he feels about this situation. And here is the first stag. It seems to greet us with a loud barking call. A great male. But for those who don't know, this is not a Maral. This is a male Roe Deer. The cracking sound you hear is coming from me. I am knocking together a pair of Roe Deer antlers that I once found in the mountains. The idea is to imitate the sound of clashing antlers during a fight between male roe deer. This stag clearly hears it and reacts quite intensely. With his barking call, he warns all rivals to stay away from his territory. Judging by his attitude, he is no stranger to fierce confrontations. It even looks like he lost a small piece of his ear in one of those fights. Even after I stop rattling the antlers, he has no intention of leaving. He continues to loudly proclaim his claim over the surrounding hillsides, until suddenly, a cautious younger male appears from the bushes on the opposite slope. He listens attentively to the fierce warnings of the older stag. The experienced male remains unwavering, continuing to fill the gorge with his battle-like calls. So the younger one decides not to take any risks and continues grazing peacefully. Later, using a call whistle, I managed to lure a third roe deer male into a clearing, but he turned out to be rather unenthusiastic. He looked around searching for the source of the sound, but showed no true interest. Up ahead among the dense shrubs, shadows of wild boars briefly flicker. And finally, the Maral deer appear from the spruce forest on a distant ridge. In the high alpine valleys of the Dzungarian Alatau, the onset of autumn marks one of the most striking events in the natural world, the Maral rut. During this time, males abandon their usual behavior and shift into a period of bold and demonstrative actions. Their calls, a long, vibrating roar, echo across the mountain slopes and resonate through the rocky amphitheaters of the peaks. This is how they announce themselves to the females and warn rival males, using the very landscape as a natural amplifier of their challenge. The males try to form and hold a harem, a group of females they will defend throughout the rutting season. The hierarchy is strict. Large, experienced bulls occupy the best territories and maintain leading positions, while younger or weaker individuals stay on the outskirts, occasionally making risky attempts to come closer. To protect their harem, one must constantly display superiority through their voice, their posture, and their impressive antlers. Scents, poses, and deliberate head movements form a silent language that other males understand even from a distance. When two equally strong males hesitate for only a moment, a fight may break out. Ritualized displays can escalate into a powerful clash of antlers, accompanied by heavy pushes and attempts to knock the rival off balance. In the mountains, such battles are especially dangerous. Loose rocks, steep slopes, and thick vegetation allow no mistakes. The winner remains master of the territory and the harem, while the defeated one leaves, carrying the marks of his loss, and with it, the fading chance of fathering the next generation. And here, a group of Siberian Ibex makes its way down into a valley, where vegetation is still nutritious enough. From time to time, they stop and listen. And there is always a moment to test strength with a rival. This male seems tired of constant fights, so he has found a hidden spot to rest and enjoy some peace. We won't disturb him. Instead, let's observe the grazing champions with enormous, blade-like horns that resemble giant yataghans. Here is a rare moment on camera. Two ibex and a young Maral male sharing the same meadow. They graze calmly, without disturbing each other. And it is actually safer this way. More eyes and ears mean a better chance of detecting danger. The old ibex becomes alert. Somewhere nearby, a goat whistles, but everything seems calm, so he continues grazing. There are now around 30 to 40 Maral deer in this gorge, including both females and males. Here is one of the contenders for a harem. I'll try communicating with him using the call whistle. He is so far away that his voice reaches me with a noticeable delay. The Maral stands up, but it seems he is too lazy to walk toward my call. He paws the ground with his hoof, preparing a more comfortable resting spot. And then lies down again. Apparently, talking to me is more convenient from there. The ibex continue grazing peacefully. And here are two young Maral males. They cannot yet compete with the stronger adults, so they practice by sparring with their peers. Along the slopes of the gorge, two mature bulls slowly move forward. They keep their distance, sometimes disappearing into the shrubs, then appearing again in the open. When they meet on a narrow path, both stop. For some time, they simply stand facing each other, silently, without sudden movements, carefully assessing one another. The tension is noticeable, yet kept inside. Eventually, each chooses his own way, and they separate calmly, as if understanding that saving strength is wiser than engaging in an unnecessary fight. Later, one of the bulls responds to the call whistle and comes very close. He does not look alarmed, rather curious. He listens, sniffs the air, gently moves his head, and occasionally freezes with his tongue hanging slightly to the side. This behavior is quite typical during the rut. The animal is not aggressive, but influenced by hormones and may act a bit unusually. After a while, his interest fades and he quietly disappears into the misty slope and damp shrubs. What a peaceful sight, a rocky cliff against a forest turning to autumn colors. A Siberian ibex lies on a flat ledge. The scene reminds us that mountain life follows its own rhythm, independent of viewers and cameras. If you enjoy real encounters with wildlife, subscribe, stay with us, and share this video with those who feel the same respect and curiosity toward the natural world.